A friend of mine the other day asked me if Alex Jones was for real, and I wanted to share with you what we started talking about. Heck yeah, he's for real. If you watch his 3 hour live broadcast on Prison Planet TV or .tv, he shows the documents and the news reports, etc., of where he is getting his information from. He tells you where he gets it, and you can go read the documents for yourself and come to your own conclusions. I have done this from time to time when the subject interests me. You also can Google the things that he talks about and find hundreds of newspaper articles and newspaper, TV, and other stories about the things the mainstream media or drive-by media won't talk about. But as much control as the one worlders have over big corporate media, they can still slip up. They can't afford to buy all the new local newspapers and oversee all the local newscasts out there. The information cannot be suppressed. Info warriors such as myself keep an eye out for stories, etc., and send them to Alex so that he can get the information out to the rest of the world. All the mainstream media and libs and neocons can do is resort to name calling, conspiracy theorist, kook, idiot, etc. When dealing with hardcore facts, they do this so that people such as yourself won't listen. Or when you do listen, you won't seriously deal with it. In the scriptures, it talks about how all is well in Zion in 2nd Nephi. Well, all is not well. Joseph Smith talks about the Constitution hanging by a thread. Well, he was right. It's being destroyed by both the Democrats and the Republicans. Ever hear of the Patriot Act? Bush pushes it through. He said it would never be used on Americans. Well, they use it on us all the time. They say one thing to get it passed, and once it's passed, they use it against us. Wake up, man! This ship is going down. The mutiny of the United States of America by one world eugenicists and bankers and communists has been taking place in our government for years under incrementalism. Here a little and there a little, inch by inch, placing their traps and setting up their system of control behind the scenes. One day the trap will be sprung, and our control, and we will. One day the trap will be strung, and we will lose everything, like a thief in the night, just like Jesus Christ says. It's all coming, whether you wake up or not. But if you wake up, you can warn others and prepare yourself. This nation will fall according to prophecy. The new nation will be born after the daughters of Zion is cleansed. After the cleansing, the new nation called Zion will emerge. The scriptures say the world will fear to go up against us because of the mighty power of Zion. That God will protect Zion as he protected the children of Moses. Wake up, people. It is coming. Will you survive and see it or perish and die? It is up to you. Then my friend, he says that he's been watching these things since 1977 and they never happened. So I say, you say you've known about these things since 1977 and I believe you. This stuff didn't just start yesterday. They paid off Congress in 1913 to set up a national Federal Reserve. These families have been up to this for a very long time. As far as Alex Jones, he has offered more money to be he's been offered more money to be syndicated, but he will not take it because he wants free reign over what he talks about and doesn't want someone trying to control the information that he is talking about. Brad, we don't know who knew what. We don't know if Bush set up 9/11, but I believe certain parts of the government and secret organizations knew what was going to happen. Building 7 is a huge problem for them. They say that an engine from an airplane somehow went through the towers and went into Building 7 and started it on fire, which I suppose could have happened. But buildings that are on fire fall apart where the fire is first, piece by piece. When Building 7 fell, the news had already reported that it would happen. And when it fell in its own footprint all at once, not piece by piece. September 11th, 2000 was a false flag op to get us into war with a huge boogeyman that the CIA created Osama bin Laden. Oh, but wait. Let's let's go into Iraq too. For what? Oil? BP contracts? Did you know our government is helping farmers in Afghanistan farms to farm opium? You won't hear that in the mainstream media. Look at who is making money off of war. Billions spent every year on military contract and Halliburton contract. If you want to know about more about false flag ops, look for Terror Storm in YouTube, full documentary or full film. Let's see here. Then I write, all is well in Zion, all is well. Just stay asleep and let the New World Order take away our rights, here a little and there a little. All is well. Call it all bullcrap, all is well. Nothing to see here, keep moving. Nothing to see, go back to sleep. God help us all. Here's more that I wrote. Get the facts straight for yourself. I'm not 100% sure on who did what on September 11th. I never said Bush did it. I don't know how or what he knew or didn't know. God will judge. Maybe the terrorists just did it. Maybe no one knew anything. I highly doubt it. I believe, but I do not know. I believe we knew the threat. I believe we stood down and let it happen. There are so many documented hard facts out there outright outright proven lies about 9/11. It's sickening. When Building 7 collapsed, it didn't collapse in part when the fire was like a normal fire collapses. It went down in a controlled demolition. The BBC and others reported about the collapse. Get the facts for yourself or stay asleep. All I know is that this is the only one part of what I believe may be true. There's a lot more to just 9/11. But they sure did use this event to go and take a lot of our freedoms and rights away and to get us into a war that we shouldn't be in. Did you know that a bomber flew into, let's see here. Did you know a bomber flew into the Empire State Building in 1945 and burned the 75th floor, yet that building didn't collapse? Thermite residue was found in the World Trade Center building dust. How about people take the time to research this? Do you want me to continue to spoon feed you the information that you probably won't even fully watch? There was asbestos in the World Trade Center buildings, as admitted by the EPA. What about Building 7? Other buildings were closer to the towers, to Towers 1 and 2, and were directly impacted and sustained more damage than Building 7 did, yet they did not collapse. 7 was far enough away where it didn't get hit by debris from the falling towers, and it collapsed in its own footprint. If one part of the huge building was set on fire, then that's where the collapse should have started, but it fell down demolition style. The people heard Silverstein say, "Pull it." People heard the countdown to the demolition. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. People heard separate explosions that caused this building to collapse. Not just one or two, but many in a row. Boom, 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 boom. Just like a controlled demolition. There is nanothermite particles in the dust. Nanothermite is a government military explosive, made only by military, used only in military. Yet the dust of the World Trade Center bombings, it is all over the place. There is so much more evidence, but people trust the government to tell us the truth. Well, I don't trust the government. They are liars and thieves. There are those elements in the government that are evil as Lucifer, their leader. They want us to be their slaves. They want to reduce world population by killing in wars and poisons in our food and water. In the Doctrine and Covenants, Jesus tells Joseph Smith that there is enough and to spare as far as the world population goes. In 1840, why would it matter? No one was crying about the world being overpopulated at that time. But Jesus knew Satan would inspire his followers to eugenics and depopulation in the future. It wasn't for Joseph Smith that that was included in the DNC. It was for us. The Book of Mormon is for us to help us to prepare. The DNC is for us. Many different reasons, but one is to help us prepare. Why all the war writings in the Book of Mormon? To help us prepare. I need to go. But here is one last video called Terror Storm that talks about false flag ops. People should learn about this.